Let's get our voices warmed up. Grab your notes, clear your throat. It's time for class. In today's class, I'm going to take you to the world of speech-language pathology. I am a medical speech pathologist, and I can't wait to tell you all about this exciting field. So what is speech-language pathology? Well, we can break it up into two areas: communication and swallowing. So the communication aspect of speech-language pathology involves, firstly, speech. How do we make sounds? How are we understood so people understand us when we're talking? Now, language incorporates our ability to understand others, comprehension, our ability to verbally express ourselves, verbal expression, reading, and writing. That's all under the umbrella of language. Speech pathology also incorporates cognition. How do we think and remember things? How do we process information and organize? What are our thoughts, and how do we organize, remember, process, all under this umbrella of speech pathology and cognitive language impairment? Voice. Voice incorporates, how does our voice sound? Is it breathy? Is it hoarse? Is our voice disordered or normal? Speech pathologists can help patients with voice disorders. So another component of speech-language pathology is swallowing. Whether you're a newborn baby or an older adult, feeding and swallowing impairment is an area where the medical speech pathologist is considered a specialist. We work very closely with other subspecialties of medicine, like ear, nose, and throat physicians, gastroenterologists, or neurologists. And our ultimate goal when working with feeding and swallowing, making appropriate diagnosis and developing a treatment plan, is to ensure swallow safety and swallow efficiency. So how do we diagnose and treat for communication? Well, we have to identify what area of communication is impaired. And we use a lot of standardized tests to help us identify where the impairment is. Ultimately, we're working to develop a treatment plan that's person-centered and person-specific. So what happens if a person is unable to communicate verbally? Well, one example is using a communication board. This communication board uses an eye linking strategy. A person uses their eyes to spell messages. Important ones like, I have pain, or I love you. How do we diagnose and treat a swallowing impairment? Well, let's take a look at my model. I want you to pay attention to how close the esophagus and the windpipe are to each other. When food or liquid enters the mouth, it needs to be efficiently transported from the mouth down into the esophagus. It also has to be safely managed so that as it enters the mouth and goes down into the esophagus, it doesn't trickle the wrong way into the windpipe or the trachea. We use different diagnostic tools. We can use a flexible endoscope that we place in the nose to actually give us a bird's eye view where the liquid and the food is going. Or we could use an X-ray that allows us to actually see food and liquid go from the mouth all the way down into the stomach. Once we have that information, we develop a treatment plan and we determine how to treat swallow efficiency or swallow safety. So whether you have a child with a speech or a language delay, or have had a stroke, or are newly diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, whether it's a condition that you're born with or a traumatic event that has changed your life, speech-language pathologists partner with you to optimize communication and swallowing so that we can maximize your quality of life and keep you being you.